You never get to see it because we stack them this way, but it's a cool back leg.
Hey everybody, Ethan and Kat here, hiding behind the camera, or in front of the camera, between me and the camera. We're gonna take pictures of these puppies today. As we develop a litter of puppies, we take weekly pictures, or very close to weekly pictures, and these guys are ready for their 7-week pictures. When we come into the tail end of this, we actually take stacked pictures. Now, we don't show our dogs, so we know that they have some conformational flaws, though we always try to do better. Dogs that are conformationally built perfect stack better or stand better. But there are a couple tips and tricks that we're gonna show you in this video to help your dogs look their best for their puppy photos. All right, so a couple of the tips. First and foremost, we used to take, and we have high quality camera equipment. We used to take the pictures with that thinking that was our best option, and ultimately that would give us the highest resolution photo, but there's a lot of variables when it comes to these little guys. Little movements, last second steppy, things that in essence, when you're trying to take pictures without taking literally hundreds of them to get the right one, utilizing the new versions of iPhones, they have what's called live photo. And if you're close, it allows you to scrub back and forth and find one that's really good. We are not taking these for print, so ultimately, if they're pretty dang close, we go ahead and move forward. Now, when I start with any of the puppies, we have one of the little females here. It takes them a second to get comfortable. This is a new area, and this is also part of their early socializing and development. They get used to different things that they're not necessarily comfortable with immediately. I try and set their front end first. This should feel, when you do this, as if it's slightly underneath of them, but not an exaggerated version of that. And then try and set their rear end. This should be kind of squared off. Look at angles in the puppies themselves, and this is where it's really gonna start to show you where their strengths and weaknesses are. Then we use a little bit of a bait. This is Greek yogurt. Sour cream also works, and allow them to just kind of slightly stretch into that and snap a picture. Then you check with your partner. Kat, what do you think?
Looks good.
Looks good. Okay, so if we have, and I'm sure that we'll see as we go through this, a couple puppies that are better at this than others. We have some other tips as we go, but we take one side profile shot and then I kind of cup their butt and tuck their paws. Make some happy noises.
I feel like your lips are stuck on your teeth a little bit.
Try not to be too distracting so we can get a little perky ears.
Double check. Good.
One thing that we're also trying to incorporate so that we don't have to add additional watermarking to the pictures is I always try and wear a logoed shirt. Tons of people are stealing our photos, including pictures with my full face in them. They're just like, yeah, I'm Ethan Pippitt, and this is a Standing Stone puppy that I have for sale. Send me a quick $250 deposit, and we'll reserve this puppy for you. You never hear from them again. So don't try and get fooled by buying dogs on the internet. Reach out to people, talk to them face to face before you ever give anyone money for a puppy. Ta-da! Oh. During this process, we go through a couple things that I completely almost forgot about. We check teeth along the way just to evaluate bites. This is something that's good to look at so that we know if there's any surprises. Sometimes you can have things. Rarely do we see them, but we've found an extra tooth, a misaligned bite here and there. Sometimes that's going to happen, and it's better to know about it to be able to inform buyers or make appointments if you need to help the puppy to develop properly. The next, we double check and make sure that there are no hernias or anything that have popped up. Usually you would know long before 7 weeks, but it's also good to check and continue to check things like that. We also look at, with the little females, we just look at their vulva and see, do we have any discolored, discharge building up or anything like that, that would be a sign of an early sign of a UTI. Probably not even an early sign, just a sign of a UTI. And then last, we just evaluate things like coats and look in their ears and make sure that those are clean. So this kind of becomes a preparation to the future of vet checks or tailgate checks, helping the puppies to be accustomed to being evaluated. You can see just a smidgen of shivering here. It's not that abnormal for young puppies to not feel 100% confident, and that's why we take the time to help them. The last piece is every week we trim their nails. In this stage, we typically just grind them. And this is a really good time to make sure that it gets done every week. So we roll through these with each and every puppy as well. Oop, hold still.
And one thing that I want to mention from a standpoint of sending these puppies home and any puppy home is we've been doing these weekly check-ins with stacking photos, handling the puppies, getting them tolerant and comfortable being handled, having their nails trimmed. So when you get your puppy home, don't stop. Don't say, well, I won't have to check their nails or do anything with them until their next vet appointment, which could be in potentially 3 to 4 weeks, depending on when you need another vaccination. You should keep up on these weekly check-ins, weekly or even more often, where your puppy can get more comfortable being handled, put in uncomfortable positions, in uncomfortable environments, so that they can continue to socialize, develop, and become really mentally stable puppies.
Absolutely. All right, on to the next female. Typically, we start this process with the nail prep. Whoa, hello, sir. The nail prep so that they're ready for their pictures. I did it in reverse order with the last one. And we're not going to show you every single one of these puppies, but we do want to show you a few so you can see the stacking process. The next thing that I want to mention, this is a pro tip because I love you. Whoever you find to help you with this process, it can be at times relatively frustrating. So pre-coach both of you to be patient with each other. If you need to, sometimes we even start this process with a bottle of wine or two. Make sure you're good and relaxed and ready to be patient with little puppies that don't want to stand perfectly while you try and make them look really pretty in pictures. All right, nails almost done. Okay. Let's go ahead and move right into, again, we're gonna try and set, you can see a different level of confidence in this puppy straight off the bat. I set her on the table, instantly her tail came up.
Less shivering.
Yeah, less shivering. These are things that we jot down, whether mental or written notes on evaluating what is this puppy going to be. This is where you learn the most. There's a lot that you can find out in your handling of puppies if you're paying attention. There's a lot less that you can learn on the actual day that you get to go pick them up because you get to see them for such a small window. You see here now we need to just encourage her to continue. I'm just luring her to lean forward just a smidgeny.
She's out in front of herself just a little. She looks pretty good, but...
This is where we would just do a quick reset. I said when you set that front end, it should feel like it's almost underneath of them. Here I'm holding her, bracing her, allowing her legs to just relax because she's kind of stiff, and then sliding them underneath of her just a little bit. Good. Don't try and overstretch them. Get their rear end set so they've got a good base. And then we'll go for round 2.
Because they will stretch themselves as they lean for that lure, which that looks much better.
There you go. Let them finish and help build confidence. Even once you've got the picture, we usually let them stand a second longer. A little tickle under their belly usually semi-startles them. It's different, and all of these things help them to just stand better as they go along. Wipe the excess yogurt. Okay.
That was the one.
Perfect.
Got to find the noise that works for the puppy.
Do a quick teeth check. Pearly whites look good. Everything looks lined up properly here. You can't really start this, guys, until they're in this zone where they've got all of their puppy teeth in. Good. Good. Double check. You do not have a hernia still. Good. And the back end looks appropriate.
Coat. Nice clean little puppy ears. Eyes look nice. There we go.
Let's go ahead and do one more. And then we'll call that a wrap. Ooh, look at this puppy's big saddle. That's fun. And then the wider legs base here. Again, straight off the bat, a different personality in the puppy. These are personality traits that we can tell and evaluate and add to the notes category of this puppy is not as confident as that puppy. Do we see that from week to week, or is that just a she's just tired today kind of thing? These are all really important things to document, notate, stay on top of. Good. Let's trim your nails quick. I'll give you a second longer here. Just sit with me. But this is the real test. There are, hold up. You want a puppy when you're looking at a new puppy for the average person. You want a puppy that is bold and confident, but you also want a puppy that can get its feelings hurt, essentially, but rebounds quickly. That's the very important part of this. You want a puppy that can be startled by things, but rebounds quickly. The puppies that are scared of everything and don't rebound are very difficult to train and work with and develop because, they fall into that tier of difficult. They're scared of everything. And they don't come out of it quickly. They're going to hold your mistakes against you if you happen to make them in training. And that makes for a dog that's fairly difficult to work with. We don't see a lot of those, but the other in our industry, you do see a few dogs that are the opposite end of the spectrum, which they're literally scared of nothing. You can't hurt their feelings, and that dog, though it would be easier to train than the dog that doesn't recover quickly and is scared of everything, it still makes for a ultimately long-term difficult dog to train because they can become hard-headed, make up their mind, move that direction, and it takes a lot to deter them or a lot to change that. So we're looking for those middle ground puppies, the ones that can be a little bit startled by things, but again, rebound or recover very, very quickly. Maybe are cautious coming into a new environment or check something out that's new for a split second and then they're fine with it. Those are the puppies that are ultimately going to make the best family companions and dogs that are easy to train. Good. I think we might be out in front of her just a little bit, but not bad. Need her to lean just a tiny bit more. What do you think of that?
Her rear end's a little under her still.
All right, let's make some quick adjustments here. Start fresh here. We're gonna go front end down. I'll push that just a little bit more underneath of her. And then set this back end just a little stretch. I misgauged how long this puppy actually is. There we go.
That looks good.
Much better. And even that little baby step at the end. We've got live photos so that we can.
I caught it before the step happened anyway.
Oh, that's good. Give her a second longer. Again, I talked about tickling under her belly as she stands here. That's a good, just building confidence and getting used to differences. Clean the yogurt off your face. These guys are making this look fairly easy. Some puppies can be a bit of a struggle.
That was it.
Make a whole collection of different types of noises, from squeaks to tongue clicks to meows, whistles. Every puppy is just a little different that way, and you got to find something that works. Let's take a look at the pearly whites. Look pretty. Everything looks aligned properly. She has a good coat. We look for coverage behind their ears, kind of the length and thickness on their back, and then also we do look underneath. These puppies have good coats. I wouldn't say exceptional coats. A little bit trimmer on the tummy. She does not have a hernia though. It's just, we look for the more coat coverage on short hairs specifically, the better off they're going to be in holding up to the elements. So everything back here looks good. Yep, and then check this ear too. Yeah, everything looks perfect.
And people
Good
do
job,
always
Pup.
ask us, how do you pick the right puppy? What do you look for when you're picking a puppy?
Yeah, and our recommendation for that is always trust the person you are getting the dog from. If you don't trust the person you're getting the dog from, then you need to get a dog from someplace else. Spend the extra time, get on the list with somebody that you trust, and you will ultimately be happier in the long run. Folks, we've got 6 more puppies to do. I'm gonna get focused and rolling on that. Thanks for watching. I hope this helped and showed just a little insight onto what we're doing each week, taking pictures and evaluating puppies for our program. I'm the guy with the pink gun.
I'm Kat the dog trainer.
We'll see you in the next video.